Hello and welcome to Chit Chat and All That with me, Amanda Prowse.
And me, Penny Dommett. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of chatter. We're going to be talking about all the things that we usually discuss around the kitchen table.
We certainly are. A diverse range of topics, so I've heard, that we hope will give you a laughable moment or something to reflect on. Because that's what we do, Pen, innit? A little bit of chit-chat.
A little bit of reflection.
A little bit of reflection, a little bit of everything.
Rather a lot of giggling.
Rather too much giggling, some would say.
Yes.
I mean, an episode, one before last, I think it was 80% laughter.
Yes.
Although, what's wrong, Doc? We've got a dog in the background. Can you hear making that noise? Because her daddy has left the building. I know you don't like it when I call my husband her dad.
No.
However, that's the problem. He's coming back, Bo, eventually, one day. Who knows when, so you can stop crying. Sorry about that, listener. Sorry about that, Pen. But yes, give us a like, tell your mates. I nearly nicked your bit, Pen.
Press the subscribe or follow button.
Oh, Pen, you've graduated.
Pull up a chair.
Oh.
Put the kettle on.
Put the kettle on, indeed.
Shut the dog in a cupboard.
Shut several dogs in several cupboards. So, Pen, how was your holiday?
It was very lovely. I mean, it was... We're very lucky, I know, to be able to go on holiday. I mean, a lot of people can't, won't. I struggle with going on holiday because I'm in a very lucky position that I love where I live and it's comfortable and everything else.
And you like seeing your friend around the corner?
Yes, exactly.
Which is always a wrench.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is. But it's getting ready to go on holiday, I find exhausting. I have to sort of think about dogs, making sure plants and seedlings are watered. Is there going to be a frost? Is there not going to be a frost? Do I need to cover stuff up? Do I need to shut greenhouses? Who can I bribe to come and do that? And you just think, is it worth it? Is it worth it? The pull for us was going with our grandson.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to watch them in a different environment. So to see him swimming and on the beach, and we collected shells and we skimmed stones, and it was amazing. And those years when those children want to do that with you are so short.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
So short. I mean, there's that famous Instagram post which says, enjoy the summer holidays because you'll probably only have another 8 of them with your children before they don't want to come with you.
I think they're posted by the same people who keep reminding me how many days it is till Christmas.
Probably.
Just don't do that.
Yes. So it was lovely. We did enjoy it. We ate lovely food. We had sun on our faces. And we've had this discussion before, I love going somewhere where I can see the sea.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by greenery and countryside. So to be able to see the sea, for me, is a holiday.
Yeah.
Which I loved. But also another couple of massages. I know you don't like them, but for me that's a real treat.
Yeah.
But then we came back and we'd had like 28 degrees and it was all very balmy and lovely. And the pilot said it may be a bumpy landing because there is zero visibility into Bristol Airport, and we have rather a lot of crosswind.
You were like, yay.
Yay. And the rain was hammering it down.
I remember, I looked out the window and thought, oh, this is so rotten and beautiful, you poor love.
Yes. But why do people, perhaps it's
I know what you're going to say.
Positivity.
I know what you're going to say.
Why?
Is it the clapping?
No, it wasn't the clapping. We didn't have any clapping, although, to be honest, I would have clapped. But why do people leave balmy southern Spain in flip-flops, shorts and a vest top?
Well,
when they know they're going back to Bristol.
That's really funny. I've literally just written a chapter of a book I have coming out in January 2026, I believe. And I've literally just written a whole piece yesterday. She goes to meet her son from the airport and it's Bristol and it's cold and it's rainy and she's discussing why. And apparently it's like, look, I've been on holiday and I've had a lovely time.
Oh, really?
And keeping the magic going until you get in.
Psychological.
Probably.
Yes. But I mean, the rain was so heavy.
Did it fall mainly on the plane?
Ha ha ha. That there was about a couple of inches on the tarmac, and of course at Bristol there's no such thing as a nice little tunnel that you can get out of the plane, so we had to walk to the arrivals place And these people were literally sloshing through rain. And I thought, you're mad.
Oh, that's awful.
Mad. It was miserable.
Holidays are weird though, aren't you? When you arrive, that first night, when you realise you're there, you feel like you've got eternity stretched out before you. Day 3, it's like, oh, we've still got 4 or 5 days left. It's wonderful. And then you get home and think that was over in a blink.
And the problem was...
It's a metaphor for life, Pen.
Yes. Foolishly, I'd squashed in work the very next morning that we got back.
Crazy fool.
And so I went literally from lying around not doing much except skimming stones to doing like an 8-hour maintenance day.
Oh, Pen.
In the rain.
Talk
in
about
the mud.
Straight back into it.
And you go, holiday? What holiday? Did we have a holiday?
You need another one.
Yes. But I can just about cope with one holiday a year.
Bless you.
Yeah, don't really.
We're praying for you, Pen.
Thanks.
Did you put out a post on the Monday going, had worse Mondays? That's what people do on holiday. They put a picture out of a beach or the sun or a beer and go, had worse Mondays, and it just makes my skin go.
Yes, because I think that's an annoying thing.
It is annoying.
And also, I'm so naive, aren't I? I mean, we mentioned the fact I was going on holiday, and I went home and didn't sleep for 3 days because I thought, oh my God, somebody's bound to know we're on holiday and they're going to burgle my house.
That's okay, because this does not go out live. So this goes out a week
later.
in lieu, or
Yes.
whatever, or sometimes 2 weeks in lieu.
Yeah.
So you're safe.
That's
so
fine.
So last week you're saying you're away, and but you're already back. So that's fine.
So if the burglars arrive, I'll be there ready
With a cup of
mallet.
tea, cake. Oh, I've just made a cake. What would you like? Oh, roast dinner. Yes, sit up. I've got something in the Alga. It's fine. I can just imagine it.
Yeah.
Oh, Pen.
So
I'm glad you had a
it was
nice
nice.
time.
Yeah.
I did miss you.
Aww.
I don't like you being
I
away.
did text you.
You did, and I texted back, which was fine. Not quite the same though. And I think I texted you a message, and I think it summed it up. I said, I don't like you being away, just in case.
Well, and also you said, you're very far away. I mean, I felt like, well, yeah, that's the idea of a holiday.
One day I'm going to go where you are and sneak out.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, exactly.
And can I just tell you now, never, ever, ever give me a surprise.
Oh, Penny.
I'm not very good at surprises.
I hate surprises too.
I hate them.
Hang on, is this something we have in common?
It is, yes.
What?
Yes. Robert once, it wasn't long after, it's probably about 8 months in to knowing each other.
100 years ago. Hello. Oi, oi.
And I was working, and my boss said, oh, I'm really sorry, I need you to work this weekend. Can you make sure you keep it free? There's a couple of clients you have to see. And I was really cross. I was going, blimey, I'm really annoyed.
Well, you're in your honeymoon period, weren't you? You didn't want to be working.
So I kept it free. And then on the Friday, I said, oh, I'm really sorry, I've got to work tomorrow. And he said, no, you haven't actually, because pack a bag. And I went, what? And he said, yeah, pack a bag. Get your passport out. And I was fuming.
I bet you were. What an
Absolutely.
awful man
Well,
he is.
I was fuming.
Planning a trip, packing your bag.
So he'd organised for somebody to come and look after the children and the dogs and everything else, yeah.
I can see why you were angry.
I really was. I was absolutely fuming. And he wouldn't even tell me when we were at the airport where we were going, which made me fume even more.
Yeah.
And he took me to New York for the weekend.
He sounds like... And you kept him.
I
mean, Pen.
Yeah, but you don't understand. I can't do surprises.
I do. And actually, it's, without getting too deep and meaningful, it's kind of linked to a trauma response.
Is it?
And the unknown, and being given bad news and being given surprising news that maybe wasn't good. And it does something to you. It affects your response ongoing. So when people say, I've got, it's like, instantly your mind goes to something bad or negative, or the fact that you're unprepared, or it's going to change you or change your life, or you can't cope, or you're not ready. And it's a negative thing. But other people who haven't had that, they love surprises. It's like, bring it on, because it's all good. Life's great. But I'm exactly the same, Pen. I can't bear it.
I can't bear it.
No.
I have to plan things. If you said to me on the spur of the moment, should we go to Ilfracombe tonight? I mean, much as I would love to, it would literally, I would come out in a cold sweat.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'd be thinking, I don't know if I've got enough happy pants to take with me. I don't know.
I have spare now, so you're fine.
Although, once I'd got my head round it,
Yeah.
I could then cope with it. I like to plan things, write lists, know what's going to happen. I just need to know what's going to happen, which makes sense with that idea of...
Yes, it does.
You know, having worrying news.
Exactly.
It does make sense.
But also, I think, for me, I worry about the minutiae. I'd be like, well, I've got milk in the fridge. I mean, what do I, you know, and all those small things that actually don't matter.
Yeah.
I make big things in my head. But also the joy, the anticipation of looking forward to something is really nice.
For me, I'm going back to holidays, the best thing about a holiday is having booked it and knowing that it's coming.
Yeah.
The week before could do without.
Yeah.
Because it's like panic. Have I sorted? Have I done this? Have I done that? The week after, definitely could do without. But it's that anticipation.
Yeah.
Of, oh, won't it be lovely?
Gets you up in the morning of those rainy days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, it's talking of bad news. So I was talking at a literary festival quite recently, literally about to go on the stage, when Simeon very kindly dropped me off, and when there was dog sitting, walking them around the block, as you do. And I said, he went, oh no. I said, what's the matter? He said, Rob's had an accident. And I swear my heart went down into my boots. I was like, what? Panic mode.
Yeah.
How do I get back to wherever Penny is going to be very, very quickly? And I'm 3 hours away. And he went, oh no, it's okay. Not exactly an accident. He got his finger stuck in a fire engine.
Yeah. I know.
It's the most Rob accident I could actually imagine.
I know. And what's so ridiculous? I mean, it had to be a fire engine. I mean, it couldn't have just been a door like most normal people. No, he's been working for this person that bought a renovated fire engine. He's been working on it. Couldn't shut the escape hatch. Shut it too forcefully.
Is it an escape hatch?
Well, I don't know. I think it's some sort of hatch that you get out to the water cannon with.
Oh, it's sounding that sounds very technical, Pen.
And then he trapped his finger, and of course he's dined out on it because
of course
all these nurses. It's the most Rob thing that could possibly happen. I totally agree. Mm-hmm. He couldn't just trap it in a door or anywhere normal.
Hit it with a mallet.
Yes, no.
All the standard finger injuries.
Exactly. No, he was working on this renovated fire engine that now gives children's rides around a farm and a farm shop.
Amazing.
Okay? Sounds perfect. And so, of course, he goes off to A&E. Can I just have a shout out for the wonderful walk-in centre at Yate?
Oh, it is marvellous.
Oh, fantastic. He was in and out of there in 20 minutes. You know, none of this 9-hour nonsense.
Mind you, his level of moaning, they're probably like, get him in, get him out, you know.
Exactly. And of course he was telling all the nurses, oh, how did you do it, Mr. Brown? Oh, I got it trapped in a door of a fire engine. Oh, so are you a fireman, they say? And I could tell he probably thought, is it worth lying and saying, yes, I'm a fireman? But no, he said, no, I'm not a fireman, unfortunately. But not very nice. Had it all mangled and had to have it put back on.
We can't have details.
No, exactly. And so it wasn't really an accident. But thank you, Simeon, because, of course, I texted you straight away going, oh, my God, he might never be able to point again.
Or play the piano.
Yes. And, of course, Simeon said, oh, it's not Mandy, it's Simeon.
Ah.
And he was very sweet.
Keeper of the phone. Well, I didn't know any of this, obviously, but I was in slight panic mode. So we wish Rob well and his finger, which is comically strapped up.
It is. It literally looks like
in
one
an
of those
unfortunate
cartoons.
position.
Yes.
It is the middle finger.
It is.
And so we'll leave that to your imagination.
Yes.
But no doubt much humour will be had over his predicament.
Tell me about this festival.
Oh, it was lovely. It was really, really lovely. I have, honestly, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been crisscrossing the country. I've been talking at WIs and museums and that's my dad. That's my dad, Pen.
Has he had marmalade on his toast this morning?
What did he have? He had... he's getting a pasty for lunch.
Oh.
Yeah, smashing. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad he's getting a pasty because I was worried what he was going to have. And I know all our listeners would be too. Pen's having a pasty. I'm so sorry. I have asked him not to text when I'm recording, but obviously that's gone in one ear and probably stayed there because he can't hear.
Yeah.
So I do apologise. But yeah, I've been crisscrossing the country, met some amazing readers. And there's something really fantastic about being in a room of people who love books and get it and share your passion, you know. And sometimes the bigger festivals... I've spoken at Hay, I've done things like that. You're quite remote from your audience in a way, But when it's a smaller one and you're in a room and you're looking in the eyes and people can come and talk to you about what they love to read and how books make them feel, and shared experiences of childhood and library and all that stuff, it is, honestly, it's like you've found your tribe. It's wonderful. I really love it.
It is. I've only ever been to one. I should make more of an effort, really,
Probably.
shouldn't I? Cheltenham.
I've never been to
Been
Cheltenham.
to Cheltenham. And that was really interesting. I mean, so many, well, as you know, so many different types of writers, people that go, you know, you could be interested in a book on astronomy and you can go, but then you can be interested in romance and, you know, and go as well.
Something for everyone.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Although I am noticing a pattern, Pen, and I know I've already shared this with you, but just for the benefit of our lovely listeners. Every time I do an event now, there is always someone who wants to stay behind to meet me, which is absolutely wonderful. But it's because they want to give me a packet of custard creams to give to you. So it's become a thing. So literally, I'm like, I'm feeling quite popular. There's 3 people. And one of them says, just wanted to say I loved your last book. And I say, oh, that's great, thank you. Second person, are you seeing Penny anytime soon? It's just that I've got her some custard creams. Oh, right, you've got Penny. That's marvellous. I'll pass them on. And then the third person, oh, hi, can you tell Penny? I took her advice. I'm like, what am I? Penny's PA.
I must just say, whilst you're talking about all these wonderful people that are giving you custard creams.
Giving you custard creams, which I have to transport.
Yes, and I did eat a whole packet of custard creams
Shame
when I
on
came
you.
in, absolutely soaking wet, and I thought, thank you, whoever it was, I can't remember.
I think it was Jackie Rainbows.
No, Jackie Rainbow sent that lovely book.
Oh, she did, yeah.
But she may have sent the custard creams
Oh,
as
no,
well.
I know who it was. It was, oh my gosh,
This is bad, you need to know.
I know. I can see her beautiful face. Her name is on the tip of my tongue. It will come to me.
Yeah, but anyway, Jackie Rainbow, thank you very much.
Yeah, that was lovely.
It was very sweet of you, and I have started the book because I was asking for book recommendations.
You were.
And I have started it, and it is very, very good. The Man Who Forgot His Wife.
Oh.
It's very good.
Is
No,
it?
it's funny.
Should I read it after?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Thank
It's very
you.
good.
I don't want to interfere or anything. You know, I'm happy just to transport all your gifts and goodwill gestures and everything. But, you know.
No, it was very, very good.
Oh.
If somebody gives me a tree for you, then
Yeah.
I will pass it on.
What are the chances? No, you wouldn't. You'd snaffle it in your garden and go, tree? What tree? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
We know about you with your light-fingered tendencies. So I was saying quite recently, I have a very strange thing, Pen, that as soon as autumn hits, or fall, as we say in the States.
Have we ever found out what they eat for breakfast in Texas?
No. Breakfast.
see?
We are getting remiss. We need to know what you eat for breakfast in Texas.
We need to follow these things up.
That Tina Skinner, she'll know.
Yes, she might do actually.
Because she's been in Texas recently for a wedding.
Yes. So we could ask.
Ask her.
I think there's rather a lot of pancakes and waffles going on.
I'm hoping there are. Not that I'm going anytime soon.
No.
But I would like to go. Oh, actually, I've got a lovely mate in Texas. Would love to go. One of my beautiful editors, Tiffania Teasblossom, who I call TT, because Tiffania Teasblossom is a bit of a mouthful.
Is that going on to our bucket list that's not a bucket list?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, she would be such good fun. She'd host us, definitely.
Yeah.
Because you'd have no choice. We'd just turn up and be like, ta-da! But she's got wonderful dogs, and she just has this really great life. I just see these snippets of her life. She's sort of writing in her lovely study, and she goes for walks, and it's all very, I don't know, she just feels energised. I'd like a bit of that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And she has access to good barbecue, which
Positivity.
she's very positive.
Yes.
Yeah. Apart from when she's telling me off because I've done something wrong in a book.
Oh.
Oh, she's
So
fierce.
is she an editor of some
She's my
sort?
editor.
Ah, right.
Yeah. So I have 2, and she's my American editor, and she's fierce
Oh.
and quite brutal. But I need.
What, more than me?
God, yeah.
I don't like that name.
Called it what?
Yes. Although I did like all the names in the last one.
That coming from you, Pen.
Swimming to Lundy, and there was a peculiar one, but I still liked that.
Thank you, Pen. That means the world.
Yeah,
Because I know how critical you are.
Well, names are such a funny thing.
They are.
And weirdly, I've told you this before. People's names I have real trouble with. I can't remember them. I mean, if you ask me any plant, go, what's that plant over there? I will give you the Latin name. If you said, oh look, there's so and so over there, what's her name? I'd go, I haven't a clue.
You could give her a Latin name.
Well, and often they look like somebody. They look like a Susan, but they're called Linda.
Do you say that to people?
Yes.
You look like a Susan?
Yeah, well, I don't. If they look like a Susan, I don't tell them they look like a Susan because that could be
In case they could be a Jenny or anything.
They could find that insulting.
Wow.
Or, oh, you really look like a Prudence. Well, I love the name Prudence.
I do.
But yes, some people just really look like their name.
Yeah.
And other people don't.
Maybe it's because you're used to seeing them with that name. So it's like when you name a baby, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to call them, but then suddenly, after a couple of months of them on the planet, certainly by the time they get to 1 and they've grown into their face a bit, you can't picture them with any other name. That is their name.
True. I mean, I know when Joel and Hannah had their little boy,
I thought you'd forgotten his name then for a second then, Pen. You were just that hesitation.
We were expecting an unusual name.
Of course.
Because I didn't think for a minute it would just be...
an ordinary name.
John.
I like the name John.
I love the name John. All of these, what I would class as regularly used traditional names.
For
old
our age.
English names.
Yeah.
They're all coming back.
Yeah, but also
and I love them.
I love a name you can do anything with.
Yes.
You know, you've got to think this child is going to be a dustman or a lawyer.
Yes.
What's his name going to be?
Yeah. Well, we've had this conversation.
We have done.
Montgomery. If he's a solicitor, he'll be Montgomery. If he's a jazz pianist, he'll be Monty.
I love him being a jazz pianist.
Well, I'm just putting it out there.
He's already told me anyway, he's going to be an artist spy.
Oh, yes.
Which I kind of like that combination.
Yeah. He likes the
Do you know what that
idea of being a
involves?
spy.
Drawing things and then maybe passing it on. Loving that. I'm sure there's a need for it.
Where were we going next?
I was telling you about autumn and fall.
Yes.
Before we digressed onto Texan breakfasts, for anyone who wonders why, it's about 4 episodes back. But I had this desire to just nest build as soon as the weather turns. Not only do I mean, you know, shutting the hatches, no pun intended, Rob, you know, closing the curtains, lighting a fire, getting a nice hot drink in my hands. I actually want to redecorate. And I have this burning passion to paint.
Are you mad?
Penny, honestly, I've always had it. It's like, getting a bit cold, lead up to Christmas, what can I paint? And I literally pick a project. I love it. I love decorating. But not just, you know, someone said, why don't you just put a wreath up and, you know, a new vase. I'm like, no. I want to heft furniture. I want to cover the carpet. I want to do things really...
You see, decorating, as you know, I paint artistically.
You do?
Love a bit of painting, watercolour, acrylics, love anything like that. But decorating, oh my goodness, I hate it.
Do you?
I would prefer to scrub the bathroom floor with a small toothbrush.
Penny, I'll get you a toothbrush because my floors are bad.
I don't get it. I don't get decorating. I mean, I will get a decorator in if things are really bad, but there's one room in our house that literally has not been redecorated probably for 15 years. Is that bad?
No, I mean, some of these haven't, but I think that's why I want to do it. And also, it wasn't me that decorated them. You know, so we've inherited rooms with, you know, quite garish colours or wallpaper, which actually I don't mind, but it's just all getting a bit worn, a bit, you know. I don't do it for the sake of it, but I just feel this burning need to sort of get something up together. I don't know why.
I do quite like the smell of a newly decorated room.
Blech. Oh, that's the thing I hate. Who knew that you and I would disagree on that?
But I, when I was little, I mean, all of us in the family had all of us, my sisters and I, we all had bronchitis, asthma, various things, and paint was always the worst.
Yes,
always the worst.
Yeah.
And whenever Dad painted, we all used to be wheezing and coughing because, of course, they used to put awful things.
Oh
in
yeah,
paint
lead and everything, isn't it? Yeah.
And even now we have to have water-based
Yeah.
paint because it just sends me...
I suppose that lead paint that's knocking around. Yeah, it's still got in the cupboard somewhere, probably in our house, definitely. I must say, there this morning when you arrived and I took you into my little middle room that I'm changing around and told you of my ideas. And you said, you need to get rid of that. And you mustn't be blocking a fireplace. It's bad feng shui. I would put that there. I can't, Pen, there's a radiator. Just shove it in, it'll be all right. I wouldn't do that. Why don't you take that? And I thought, you know what? I've just told her my vision. I've just shared my vision for this lovely room. And you've picked it apart. You then told me my jeans were too big and I needed new jeans.
Well, I just feel that, you know, you need the reward of having something nice and new because you've done so well. Honestly, I cannot believe how well you've done.
Thank you, darling.
It makes me feel really bad
Oh,
that
no.
I can't shift half a stone.
Penny, it's far harder to shift half a stone when you're fit and slim than it is to lose the, half your body weight, which is almost what I would have done at the end of it. But I'm reticent to buy clothes because I don't want to think I've arrived at that weight when I haven't. So it's almost like I'm waiting till I get to my end weight before I replace my wardrobe. I know it sounds nuts.
But don't you think it would be really encouraging for you? It's a bit like years ago now, I was sort of like 14 to 16.
Yeah.
And I just got into a bad routine of eating and wasn't really exercising. And somebody took me to a Zumba class, which I loved. And it was when it was all the rage.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
I've never been to Zumba.
Oh, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. And it really is like a party atmosphere. Everybody's having a great time. Women don't care what they're doing. And, you see all shapes and sizes. And I went twice a week, probably for 2 or 3 years.
That's amazing.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I lost weight. And when I first went to the Zumba classes, I was wearing a great big baggy t-shirt and sort of tracksuit trousers.
Yeah.
But then, as you start to lose weight, somebody said, look, why don't you just put some leggings on? You won't be quite so hot. Mm. And I got a t-shirt that wasn't quite so baggy. Mm. And I could not believe when I looked in the mirror, I went, oh my God, it really does look different.
You felt good.
Felt really encouraged that it was actually making a difference. I really did.
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether you should give yourself a break.
As a motivational sort of thing, yeah.
Motivational.
I like having pants that fit. This has been a revelation. Thank you so much.
What do you think about those?
Penny,
don't you feel good when you put them on?
Do you know what? I actually do. I get it. I am aboard the happy pant train.
Good.
I am there. I absolutely love it. It's a real treat. You can all what shall I have? Lilac or tangerine or stripy or...
I know.
It's wonderful.
I know. It really does make a difference.
Yeah, no, it is. It's brilliant. So what jobs should we be doing with the start of fall and autumn, leaves turning, it's all looking rather beautiful. What should we be doing in the garden? I know you've already told me you've been looking after your topiary this morning.
Yes, I have. October has got to be one of the busiest months in the garden.
Only if you do it.
Yeah. But also, the garden starts looking a bit tatty about now. Everybody's garden looks a bit tatty. You've got a lot of dead growth on top of perennials. Shrubs have done massive amount of growing because we've had such a wet, sort of mild sort of weather.
Yeah.
Everything has put on a tremendous amount of growth.
Yeah.
So, for example, at the moment we've started back doing maintenance and we're probably doing double the amount of time because there's so much cutting back to do. So you can cut back perennials that have died, back to nice fresh growth. That always makes everything look tidy. And if you get your beds tidy now, they'll stay tidy all winter.
Yeah.
So it's a good time and you can get a nice amount of mulch. Mulch is
That's a good
anything.
Word.
Mulch is a great
mulch.
word. Anything that covers the soil, helps keep moisture in, gives the worms something to pull down to get the soil into good condition. So things like homemade compost is great. I'm so determined you're going to have a homemade compost bin. Even compost from the garden centre, multi-purpose, peat-free compost. Once you've weeded all your beds, get a nice little layer of that on the top and it will all look so tidy all winter. And I put on Instagram, topiary. If you've got any balls that need clipping, get your balls clipped.
I've never clipped a ball pen.
Oh, it's very therapeutic.
I'm not averse.
I tell you what, it should be on the NHS.
Really?
Oh, so therapeutic. I mean, we actually had this client's massive long hedge to do. I'm not going to go into detail. Look on my Instagram page. But box, the plant box that people clip, has had a terrible few years because there's this thing called caterpillar box moth that is decimating every box hedge in the country, so it seems. So you imagine all these beautiful stately homes that have got box that's probably 60, 70, 80 years old.
Oh, that's a shame.
And they're having to rip it out because the only thing you can do with it is spray it with these chemicals, and the chemicals are really horrible chemicals.
Don't want that.
And people have tried to pick them off, and we've had all sorts of suggestions, like you can spray it with wine. What a waste.
Exactly.
Lemon juice, all sorts of weird organic things. Pick them off, leave traps. At the end of the day...
Caterpillar traps, you'd need to set quite a few.
Yes, exactly. So I've been taking a lot of them out and replacing them with things like yew and privet and...
Privet?
Yes. Do you remember? And do you remember we used to have to pick
Privet
privet
hedge.
for the stick insects at school?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I could never have a stick insect because we couldn't find any privet.
And they weren't really animals, were they?
No. Well, and I don't like anything like that.
No. So it wouldn't have been a great pet for you then, Pen,
not
looking
really
back.
Good. No. So we've been replacing a lot of box hedges. But topiary, great thing to be cutting back at this time of year because it'll look lovely all through the winter.
Yeah, I love that. I can't say I'm inspired to go and do it because I've got so much on that I know this sounds ridiculous, but a day in the garden for me would feel like a lovely, lovely day off. It'd feel like a beautiful, rest and respite. And I'm so up to my eyes with deadlines that I sort of can't do that. But
do you know what I really would like to do? I think
apart from rearrange my house, buy my wardrobe, sort me out,
replant your garden.
Replant my garden. I know.
I would really like us to go and buy loads of bulbs to put in.
Oh, okay.
Because I think bulbs are such a lovely way of seeing seasons come round.
Yeah.
And for me, again, this is something that's really special to me. After my sister was diagnosed, one of the things we did every September was plant lots of bulbs.
Yeah, lovely.
And so now, every spring when they come up, it's a wonderful reminder.
And a hello from her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
it's
I love
a
that,
lovely reminder. So I think something like bulbs are a real indication of the continual wheel that we're on.
I love that. And also a little bit of brightness in the gloom of a sort of maybe a less than sunny day.
In the spring, definitely. Yeah. So you need to be planting bulbs now.
Okay.
Things like narcissus, which are daffodils.
Right.
Any sort of daffodil you can put in now. Hang on for the tulips because we need a bit of cold weather for that.
Okay.
We can plant those in November.
Fantastic.
But have a look around. There's lots of bulbs for sale. There's some real beauties out there. So worth thinking about planting some bulbs.
Well, that's going to be exciting. I shall really look forward to it. And I have really, really liked chatting to you today, Pen, as ever. You're not planning on going away anytime soon, are you? We can carry on chatting. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and keep an eye out for our next episode, which, of course, drop every Friday. Tell your friends, follow us, keep up to date on our Insta page, which is
at The Chit Chatters.
Until next time, take care.
Bye.